Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Chimmel, the GOAT of ring announcers. And you're listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.
You keep mad dogging me because you're not invited to the John Cena annual special celebration award classic inaugural event of the year presented by Prime.
They ought to just come out and call it the Bluto Butowski School of Wrestling.
So, welcome to the Marks Podcast. First and foremost, salute to the man that brought us World Championship Wrestling. It's really, you know, that's you and I might not be here if it wasn't for that beautiful fucking rivalry they had with WWE. It forced WWE to step its game up, and whatever anybody wants to say, WCW forced WWF into the greatest era of wrestling, the Attitude, in my opinion, the Attitude Era. All because he wanted to own some wrestling.
And if you think about what a 3-year period that was in terms of financial success, never mind the back and forth of WWE and WCW. And never mind what's going on right now, because I'll tell you this right now. I think those 3 years between WCW and WWE probably were more profitable.
Dollar for dollar, absolutely.
And that's... And all you have to do is look at the crowd's reaction back then. Today, you don't have the reaction. That glass would break. You would hear the thunder of Goldberg's music and look at the reactions of the crowd. You would hear Voodoo Child. You would hear, "Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?" And you'd be glued to that television set. And you would wishing you could have 2 TVs going on at the same time so you didn't have to change a channel.
And there's 2 guys you didn't talk about, and I think that they would be the when you mentioned Stone Cold, you mentioned Goldberg, you mentioned Hogan, you mentioned The Rock. Well, there was a third on each side that they weren't getting those pops anymore, which they were absolutely doing it in the ring. And I'm talking about Ric Flair, and I'm talking about Triple H.
Well, here's the thing with me with Ric Flair at that time.
He was having that same match he was having in the 80s. He never stopped having the same match.
But he was more against management. So they tried to make him almost basically their Austin when it comes to the way he was fighting management. We all saw what he did to his own suit talking about Eric Bischoff. You all saw that.
Yeah, he bit his own mouth. He started bleeding out of the mouth. He was a nut.
But when it comes to the other one, to where, do we dare say the curtain call?
After I go back,
the trajectory of the companies. Where would the trajectory of the companies go if we don't have the curtain call? Now,
but I also go back, and I'm one of those Jim Cornette guys who says that the curtain call may have ruined wrestling. The pulling back and the
they killed kayfabe. They killed kayfabe.
But the death of kayfabe has ruined wrestling. From a purist.
Absolutely, and it'd be like, to me, discovering how David Copperfield does all his tricks.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that guy anyway. So
no, but you get my point.
Yes.
Like we do no show. You see the shows, The Secret of the Magicians and stuff like that. I enjoy watching the tricks to find out how they're all done. Where's the excitement in that anymore?
Well, I mean, a lot of the stuff that's been going on right now, and I want to move into that. A lot of the stuff going on right now has caused me to completely change my aspect on being a commentator as far as wrestling topics, because I don't know what's going on, and I don't want to save myself the trauma of being a fucking idiot and looking stupid later. I want to make it clear We guesstimate 95%. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. We're just a bunch of fucking bums making an opinion. Look, as Eddie Kingston would say, I'm the king of the fucking bumps. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And what I don't like is right now current WWE. And we're going to get into the pay-per-view. We're going to get into the current, because we haven't been here for a week. But God, what a week it's been, right? First thing, 2 weeks. Yeah. What I want to talk about is these fucking firings. They told us that this was coming. Fucking Karrion Kross, how long ago? A year ago almost? Told us this was happening.
And any fan in their mind, right mind, knows that WrestleMania is cut down week. Every year, WrestleMania is cut down week. You get your 90-day walking paper. A couple few, it happens immediately. Okay? But this is probably the first year I can say I'm actually excited for All In. Because the 90-day no-compete ends just in time for All In. Who shows up? Now.
It's a new day. Yes, it is. And if we're lucky, we get one of the most underrated bell-to-bell greatest women's wrestlers in history in Kairi Sane. Now, hold on before we go anywhere. There's someone here who loves Kairi Sane, who has loved Kairi Sane from the beginning of her arrival in WWE, who Kairi Sane made her a fan of wrestling again after, what was it, WrestleMania 17. You hated a lot of what wrestling had become. So I'd like you to talk about the impact that it's had on you as far as her being gone and how fucking shitty this has come out.
I mean, like you said, since she was in NXT.
Are you come through?
Should be. Am I not?
Turn it up.
Volume.
You're coming through my mic.
What about now? Okay, I don't know what's up.
It's like your volume shut off.
All right, hold on, because it's important.
No, it's really not.
It's important. Come on,
Really not.
come here.
It's not. Huh? I just had to plug it back in. I don't know what's up with it. All right, how about now?
Yeah.
Okay. So like he said, I mean, since NXT, the Pirate Princess has been one of my favorites. And I think, I mean, obviously we expect cuts. We expect them to let people go. We expect them to be somewhat honest about it. You had TKO making the phone calls to everybody. You had TKO claiming they have 100% creative control over the company. And then later in the week saying, oh, no, all these cuts were Triple H's decision. Paul Levesque, whatever. She was cut while on TV in an active storyline that's been going on forever. And then tried to sell it that she asked for her release, that it was her idea. She wanted out. She was going to go back to Japan. We know that's bullshit. It's the same bullshit they pulled with R-Truth when they said, oh, no, it was a work. No, it wasn't. There was enough fan backlash. You had to bring him back and try to save face. Those chants for We Want Kairi last night, they couldn't drown them out. The fans are extremely upset about it. She finally, actually made a post basically saying she would not have walked away, that it was not her decision in so many words. Yet the company is standing by the fact that, oh, no. It was, her decision. Then they had to rewrite this storyline, this beef between her and Io, and act like Kairi never existed. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And I think even if they would take her back, I don't think she would go or should go. Because fuck them. And to watch the match between Io and Asuka last night and watch the end, I think Asuka's done. She had posted on Instagram the lyric, the first and third stanza of I Did It My Way about how the end is near and she's done what she wanted to do. They posted a photo after the match, but was taken before the match of her, Io, and Kairi's WrestleMania mask. I think they're done. And I think they destroyed a storyline. I think they've run off some, fans that they're not going to get back. They've done a huge disservice to the talent, into the fans. And that's just one of the cuts. You won't even want to get into Aleister Black and Selena Vega. To her point, why bring him back to cut him? It is insane to me. The process or the complete lack thereof, all in the name of greed. We're going to slap a logo on every single thing we own. We're going to run more commercials than matches. When the hell does a PLE have 3 matches? Now, I saw JD from New York bitching the fact that it was a 5-match event. I don't count it as a 5-match event because 2 of those matches were free. Then you went over to ESPN and then you watched the event. So you had a 3-match premium live event. It's absolute horseshit.
And not to mention the fact, they rolled it right into a UFC event.
Which, and now, in looking at the UFC event, with all of its logos, you can tell that's where their mindset is. They're trying to follow the UFC model for marketing, branding, and making as much ad dollars as they possibly can.
Well, then, and that's why when you see, I will say this: you finally got a main event that at least delivered. Okay. But what happened after the main event with Jacob was something I think we need to see at WrestleMania. Because I don't think they have a clue right now where they're going. And if you notice, Dan, because you're wearing the Lucha Libre,
It's Dr.
we
Wagner.
put out the first AAA show. There's going to be 2 nights.
But that was also something that was stolen from New Japan, because New Japan has their annual yearly event. It's called Wrestle Kingdom. It's amazing. It's always been a big deal, and they're 2 nights.
Yeah.
You can't get over the mask, can you? You're just sitting here looking at me because I'm Dr. Wagner right now.
You got to make his visit too. Huh? What? You want to give your opinion? He basically telling you the show's for the dogs.
So, but what I was getting at with that, and why I wanted her to speak on that, is because I hate you right now, Gerard. I hate you so much because I'm going to say this. Vince McMahon put checks and balances in to protect us from wrestling becoming this.
Commercialized.
CM Punk many years ago talked about on a podcast that he wanted to get advertisements, and he had people that were trying to get into wrestling, and they wanted to put ads on his trunks. They wanted to do this. They wanted to do this. Talking about CM Punk had said all these things about, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I remember something about wanting to put ads on his gear and shit like that. I think it was on the Colt Cabana podcast years ago. And Vince was like, no. And a lot of people took that, I believe, because I took it as such, that he was just bullying Punk and saying, no, you can't do that. You can't make any extra money. You can't do this. You can't do that. Then they got pissed off at Brock Lesnar because when Brock Lesnar came in, he had already had a deal with Jimmy John's and Jerky Links or whatever, Jack Link's Jerky, and so he had it on his gear. I think that Vince was...
Who had the ad on the bottom of their shoes?
I don't remember.
Somebody had advertised on the bottom of their shoes.
So I think that the reason that Vince was trying to stop that from coming in is because he knew what was going to happen as soon as they commercialized. But in the same breath, Vince signed the dotted line to let Ari Emanuel take over his company. I'll quote him, but use a different name. We didn't screw Vince. Vince screwed Vince. And therefore Vince screwed us as consumers and fans.
Do you think, I wish we could talk to him and just say, hey, do you have seller's remorse?
You already know the answer to that.
But to hear from him, he could say, no, I don't have seller's remorse because I got 9 billion reasons not to have seller's remorse.
Okay, you can sit there and say that all you want, or a guy who is as rich as he is, and who's still invested in a product as much as he was, even though he was running it into the ground, storylines after storyline after storyline. That motherfucker loved his fucking company. We take joy in him suffering at times, and it's true. I do. I've absolutely taken joy in his suffering at times because he's been a horrible human being. But to watch his baby, the thing that I grew up, the thing that I've loved my entire life, it's the one constant that I can tell you that has been a part of my life since I was at least 4 years old, going on 40, watching it die a slow, miserable death. It breaks my heart. And yeah, he still does own stock, Leland. And it's good to see you, Leland. It's been 2 weeks. It sucked. I missed you, Leland, so much. It sucks to watch this thing that I've loved, that you've gotten to experience firsthand, Gerard. Tell me how it makes you feel to watch this thing that we've loved together, as even before we were friends.
I'm going to
put this podcast for 2 years now.
I will put it like this, okay? Because of the podcast because of the documentary that I watch. Hulk Hogan made a crap load of money in his career. Terry Bollea never made a dime. Okay. Mr. McMahon made a shit ton of money. How much did Vince McMahon make?
He's got a couple billion in the bank.
No, you get my point though. Does Vince McMahon himself ever make any money?
Oh, the character.
Mr. McMahon made a shit ton of money.
But I also think that of all the gimmicks that were there, right? All the gimmicks that were created, I think Mr. McMahon and Vince McMahon were closest to each other because the things that Mr. McMahon would do.
Well, think about it. Think how many guys he put in his character. Ted DiBiase, Kurt Hennig. Okay? That's just name 2 of them. Mr. Perfect and the $1 Million Man.
But those were nothing like him.
No. But those were that's
what he saw himself as.
That's what he saw himself as. And I'm saying is, do we blame Mr. McMahon or do we blame Vince McMahon? Just like, do we blame Hulk Hogan or do we blame Terry Bollea? A lot of guys wouldn't make dirt as their true self. Steve Austin made a crap load of money as Stone Cold. Did Steve Austin make any money as Steve Austin?
But Steve Williams, which is Steve Austin's real name,
right.
But Steve Williams is Steve Austin turned up to 11. And that's the thing we talk about. Going into the Attitude Era, those characters were basically them turned up to 11, right? Stunning Steve Austin wasn't drawing a fucking dime. He was a great heel, a wonderful technician. Stunning Steve Austin was all right. I like Stunning Steve Austin. Steve Williams turned up to 11, becoming Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, that's where your money was.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about those gimmicks.
I'll give you another perfect example. Who the fuck bought a ticket to see Dwayne Johnson wrestle?
You mean Rocky Maivia?
The Rock?
To see Dwayne Johnson as The Rock, which was him finally letting himself out. The Attitude Era was full of guys that were finally allowed to be themselves. Look at Paul Levesque. He is a ruthless businessman when he needs to be. He is very cerebral in the things he does. Dwayne Johnson as The Rock. That is him turned to 11. Steve Williams. All these characters. Shawn Michaels at the time being that prick part of Degeneration X.
Michael Hickenbottom doesn't sell $1.
Michael Hickenbottom turned to fucking 11 and being Shawn Michaels. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Would you have bought a ticket to a guy named Michael Hickenbottom?
No.
I don't think so.
But what I'm saying is the Road Dogg. Brian Adams. Or not Brian,
Brian Armstrong.
Brian Armstrong. Yeah. Brian Armstrong. That was who he is. If you watch any interview of him just being himself, him and fucking Billy Gunn together are basically they're the New Age Outlaws. But that's just them being by themselves. Turned to 11 and given an audience of over 5 million homes.
Let's go to during that attitude, during the era, let's go to the biggest one of them all. Does the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle make a penny as Kurt
But no,
Angle.
I got a better question. Which would have been better off? Did Kurt Hennig, that was allowed to be himself more in TNA, done better in WWE?
If he never has his back issue, and I will say this, I'm blue in the face. Kurt Angle doesn't have his back issue. Kurt Angle.
When Kurt Angle was ending his career in WWE, right?
Yep.
He was transitioning into that fucking TNA character he would eventually become. I enjoy the more ruthless side of him that you saw in like one of the greatest rivalries of all time that I've ever seen. Kurt Angle versus fucking Samoa Joe. It felt like they were really trying to kill each other. But that was, again, people want to pay to see someone that's real. And the shit we have now is not fucking real. It's a joke.
We got a perfect one. We can talk today. Who the frick buys a ticket to go see Kobe Lewis? But people will buy a ticket to go see Seth Rollins.
It's Kobe Lopez. Huh? It's Kobe Lopez. It's Kobe Lopez.
Kobe Lopez.
But Kobe Lopez.
Would you buy a ticket to see Rebecca?
Hold on. People pay to watch him and sing his entrance. I will die on the hill, in my opinion, that he is, if you were to take Shawn Michaels and Triple H, you combine their talents and put them together, that is Kobe Lopez. And the reason I say that is because neither of them were ever going to be the guy that carried a company. In-ring technician, absolutely. He's excellent in the ring. But for me, he is never going to be the guy. He'll always be second to the guy. And I think that's a reason why Triple H took a liking to him. I'm not sitting here saying he's not great, because he's really... for all the trash talk we did about fucking Seth Rollins and all the shit we give him about blah, 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 the motherfucker in that ring, he's damn good. He's damn good. But he'll never be a CM Punk. He'll never be a guy that you can put on a marquee and say, that's why I'm here.
Okay, we can use that. CM Punk is a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Phil Brooks doesn't sell a ticket.
Phil Brooks is kind of a dick.
Yeah, let's just put it out there. And that's what I'm saying, to where when these guys all have their alter egos and stuff like that.
But hold on. No. I'm going to argue that, because the Phil Brooks, people like Phil Brooks being Phil Brooks. The pipe bomb was Phil Brooks.
No, the pipe bomb was CM Punk.
No, the pipe bomb was Phil Brooks.
He's never used his name, Phil Brooks, in that ring.
Hold on. They gave him a live fucking mic and let him fucking air his grievances.
It's like,
that was him.
I'll give you the other perfect. I'll tell you what. Who the hell knows Pierre Clermont?
The Mountie?
Pierre Clermont.
Is that your alter ego?
Pierre Clermont, otherwise known as Pat Patterson. Pierre Clermont didn't do nothing.
That's the gayest name I've ever heard in my life.
Pat Patterson did a shitload.
Sure he did. I'm sure
and that's what I'm saying, to where these guys and their alter egos do more as their alter egos. But
the highest selling characters, right? The guys that did the best money were the ones that were being themselves turned to 11.
Oh, hey, you can go with your Lucha Libre guy there, Rey Mysterio. What's his real name? Does his real name ever make $1? No, not a penny.
If he could do what he was doing in the ring, the thing about Mysterio was the glitz and the glamour of it.
That's what I'm saying. But you take off the mask, does he make a penny as being his real name?
When they were the Filthy Animals, no, he did not. They didn't do very.
No.
They weren't saving WCW.
When guys can be themselves in the ring.
I just want to see if my mic works. Can you hear that?
Yes, it works.
Yay, I'm back. Okay, bye.
Mick Foley was Mick Foley.
He was Mick Foley.
Okay. Mark Calloway.
Mean Mark.
Wasn't drawing a penny. Not a penny.
Ole Anderson once told him that no one would ever pay to watch him wrestle.
I guess he was a little wrong.
But again, I think we're getting off track. What we are talking about is the downfall of what's going on with WWE. Now, I will say this: you watched Backlash last night, right?
I watched the main event.
That was it. I'm over here watching this whole fucking couple hours of trash, and you're sitting at the house eating fucking chicken and not doing shit.
Because of us.
What's for dinner?
Because of us doing the show today, I took my wife and my niece and my daughter out last night for Mother's Day and stuff like that. So we went out to dinner last night. And
this is the shit we have to put up with.
I got back home in time for the main event. But I was watching it sporadically during my dinner.
How'd that go over?
Man, my wallet's a lot lighter. I'll tell you that right now. I felt like I was paying for a meal in Texas. Holy shit.
I enjoyed a lovely evening with my wife and we watched Tulsa King. It was amazing.
But
the
thing is, when I was watching last night, what I watched, the crowd in Tampa was into that main event. When I watched the thing that happened with Danhausen, the Oscar and Io Sky ending, and I saw the Seth Rollins Braun Breaker thing, where you constantly still have the interference. It's like, you got to be kidding me.
So let me put you like this: so for someone who actually watched it, not just highlights.
Rollins. Hold on. How good it was. I could just watch the highlights.
Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker.
Yep.
Hang on. You say you watched it.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm about to say. I'm about to say, hold on. I fell asleep.
So what's the difference between what
the snippets I saw were pretty good wrestling of that match.
The snippets that you saw were pretty good wrestling.
Pretty good. She saw the whole thing, so I'm going to let you take over.
I didn't watch that. I swear to you, I played on my phone. I listened to the commentary. I could give a shit about Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins.
I tried really hard, but it was just
It just isn't compelling. I'm sorry. Io and Oscar was the thing. I'm just saying everything else was
the second match. We had the Miz come out, and we had who she pretty much considers the twin of Dolph Ziggler. She compares Dolph Ziggler to that guy who used to sell the Gazelle. Remember that? The weight, the equipment, the Gazelle.
Yep.
The location of Collision last night. I did not see that. Wasn't it on a golf course or some shit? It was like Fairway Hell or something like that. Anyway,
it was on a golf course,
which is actually interesting. Speaking of what, I want remind me when later on I want to talk about Sturgis. Okay.
Yep.
Remember that.
Oh, they must have went to the indoor golf course in L.A. where Tiger Woods owns.
Nice. I'll get back to that in a second. Okay, so then the man that was on, damn it, Leland and fucking Gerard, you fucking yells Alzheimer's is fucking throwing me off. All right. Then I watched Danhausen come out, and everybody's looking forward to finding out who this person's going to be, who this guy is going to be. And he goes to his cloning machine, and this tiny Danhausen comes out. And I'm thinking, this can only be a gimmick for like the beginning of the match. This is not how it's going to go. There's no fucking way we're going to have this. And not knocking mini wrestlers. If that's your bag, shit, they did it back in the day.
You saw him say, oh shit, though, when he came out as a little person, right?
Yes.
Because he was expecting a bigger person. So that was kind of funny. He kind of told her, like, fuck, cloning machine didn't work.
But as the match went on and the little person helped him and what happened, I am glad now that it was a little person, that it was this, that it wasn't some random guy. It wasn't CM Punk. It wasn't this. Because that match wasn't meant to have anybody else. That match was supposed to be about Danhausen. So this mystery partner doesn't take away from the momentum.
John Cena.
It didn't need to be, though. The gimmick Danhausen doesn't need a second person to muck up the works.
Right.
You didn't buy that shirt because CM Punk came out with him. He didn't sell already 400 fucking shirts in less than, what, 14 hours?
14 hours, yeah.
In 14 hours because John Cena was out there with him. Danhausen did that on his own. And therefore, he deserves to continue that role on his own. He doesn't need someone to muddy the waters of what his gimmick is, which is good old-fashioned wrestling comedy at its finest. And that's what he's doing. It's amazing.
And to put it
The match, Gerard, the match itself, having seen it and enjoyed the match, was great. The little guy tried to curse somebody. He ended up cursing himself. The Miz did a skull-crushing finale to a little person. That was fucking hilarious. Then fucking Kip Wilson throws the mini and back into the cloning machine, and then all these little mini Danhausens come out and they attack Kip Wilson. And if you really want to argue semantics and rules, okay, I know you're a stickler for the rules, and that's not fair. That's outside interference. How is it outside interference if it's all the same guy, Gerard?
I know.
Clones. It's clones. It's all clones, Gerard.
You know what was missing? And I wish I could, if I could listen to this. What would JBL have been like to listen to?
JBL would have probably kicked them in the head like he did when he went down to Mexico to kick the Mexicans at the border. That's what JBL would have done.
Hey, but Wade Barrett's commentary was hilarious.
Wade Barrett is amazing. So at a point in the match, one of the minis, the main mini that was teamed up with Danhausen, did a spinning airplane move and used Wade Barrett's finisher, the Wasteland. And Wade Barrett got so upset and said, "Don't you ever use my finishing move. What is wrong with you? You're I love Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett is amazing. The only thing that Wade Barrett could have said that would have put it over the top for me is if he would have said something along the lines, and I'm quoting Austin Powers here, little people smell like cabbage. If he would have said something like that, then I would have been like, I'm done. Fucking Wade Barrett, greatest fucking announcer of all time. Or fucking commentator of all time. Get these little people away from me. They smell like cabbage.
You're a sick man. That's a leprechaun.
But that's what I'm saying. It didn't need to be somebody else. And I know that's going to get flack and people are going to say, well, that's bullshit. We wanted to. It was different. For fuck's sake, we've been bitching about wanting something different. Danhausen is the only thing going for WWE right now.
You're wondering what's he going to do next?
Yes. Is it going to come out of the toilet? You're looking. Gerard, look at the shirt you're wearing right now, which you a year ago thought you would be wearing a fucking shirt with a guy whose gimmick is putting teeth in other people's mouths and kicking them in the face only because it's not illegal because they're teeth. Teeth aren't an illegal weapon.
I never thought I'd ever be wearing the shirt that says "You are cursed."
But that's the power of Danhausen. And I called it years ago. I told you this guy is on, he's on the Indies. This guy is in AEW, and you thought I was full of shit. He gets the gobbledygooker treatment from your ass whenever he debuts. And how do you feel now to see this guy to the level he's at now? He's funny. The kids love him because how many fucking kids' faces were painted like Danhausen in that crowd last night? Men love him because he's fucking hilarious. And then there's women out there. That crowd was full of women wearing Danhausen shirts.
He is, like I said, it's because he's something new, something fresh.
Something
nice, something evil. Okay? How long before the gimmick wears off, though, and do they kill it because they do so much? That's what we don't want to see.
No, and you're right, but see, that's the thing about him. That's the thing about the man behind the gimmick. He's been doing the same gimmick all this time, Gerard, and everyone still loves him. Even when he wasn't being booked properly, even when he wasn't on TV, Danhausen was making money hand over fist.
All I was going to say is this. Okay? They had a face painting station outside the arena last night.
And you know what's funny? What's great about him?
What were they charging?
Did you know that his face paint is trademarked and copyrighted by him?
The design of his face. The design,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
He's the one who got Sting to do the same thing.
Oh, the trademark is paint,
Mm-hmm.
which right now, Sting coming out. Oh, my good Lord.
He looks like Colonel Sanders. He's looks
Oh,
like he's
my
ready to.
God. Seth needs to start trying to be me. Yeah, bell to bell.
He had a picture of Will Ospreay.
I know.
But see, that's the thing. Seth Rollins will never be Will Ospreay. But back to the pay-per-view. It was great. I love, as much as I didn't like it at first, they won me over. Danhausen is amazing. Danhausen is exactly what he needs to be. Does he need to be a world champion? No. He's there to entertain me. And God, fuck. And in a year and a time when
after show.
Which one? Which thing? When he took whatever over? I'm still on the fact that he stole the Miz's daughter's bike. He stole a young girl's bike.
When he was on the show talking with the panel, and Corey Graves like, "Where's my watch?" One of the midgets like, Corey Graves. And Danhausen was like, "Who took his watch?"
That's the gimmick, though. You don't know what Danhausen is. The Miz thinks he's a fucking Dracula. You don't know what he is. He's just Danhausen. And then we got, and that's all. That's ultimately, that's what it matters, right? The fan is into it. The fans love him,
and that's why I say you can't kill it. You have to keep it going, but you can't overblow this thing.
The motherfucker drives out in a jalopy. Come on now.
I understand that. But you got to just be careful because...
But see, that's the beauty. Again, before we get into the next match, his whole gimmick, right, is that he's supposed to be overbooked because all he wants is human monies and a blimp.
Oh, what did he ask for last night then? Well... We know it wasn't going to be a technical masterpiece.
It wasn't meant to be a technical masterpiece. It is what it is.
And I can't believe I'm going to say this. They put him with the right guy.
Absolutely.
They put Danhausen with the right guy. And that listen, they could have hit or miss on this thing, and they got it. They hit by putting him with the Miz.
The Miz, as much as I'm not a fan of the Miz, the motherfucker deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
He has gotten more people over in the past 10 years than a lot of other people. The Miz has gotten more people over. Because it's almost like something that if the Miz puts you over, it means like you're going to the top kind of thing.
I wouldn't sell that. You're the guy who wants to see the Miz face a cardboard cutout, not me, but
oh, come on. Give me a break. You really think that's the reason why he sold his house?
I believe he's a company man. I think he would.
He sold his house because he lived in L.A. He moved to Nevada. Oh, that's an upgrade.
I do think he's one of the guys that probably took a pay cut.
Who do we think it was that took half? Who was the guy that took 50%?
They're saying it was a mid-carder who wasn't quite at the top that fits Miz.
But I'm just saying is though, he got to L.A. because the expenses in L.A., put it this way.
It doesn't matter who. Look, it doesn't matter. All I know is that I believe he took a pay cut.
Put it this way.
What?
What he was probably spending in property taxes in L.A. justified the pay cut to go to Las Vegas.
Whatever. You can sit there and try to defend it all you want. Motherfuckers are pieces of shit.
When are we going to see a Zilla Fatu?
We were just talking about this last night, actually, but we'll probably get to that. But I do want to transition into the next match. We went from a funny, humorous match to something that was overshadowed by a lot of other shit going on. She talked about it briefly when we started, but we had Asuka versus Io Sky, and other than one botch, I thought the match was excellent. I thought it was very well done.
What I saw of it, I will say this:
Sar? What'd you Sar of it?
They let go of the wrong girl.
Why?
There's other girls in that roster that they could have got rid of over Kyrie.
Oh, 100%.
And, you know, regardless of how they want to spin it, backstage politics, jockeying for position, even in the era of guaranteed contracts, is still a thing.
Well, let me ask you this. Those girls love Paul Levesque. They've all said that they love Paul Levesque. Like, and remember that whole thing we had whenever WWE Unreal came out, and they said that Io Sky was uncomfortably hugging because she jumped up in the air, wrapped her legs around Paul Levesque, and hugged. And oh my God, what's he doing? Because they love him, because he always takes care of them. And now we have this whole thing about him being the one to make these firings, right? Well, you had a wonderful take last night, and I'm curious if you want to talk about that now, because he did get rehired, and maybe the conditions of that rehiring is that he takes the fall on it. But do you believe that first? I don't. I can't. I don't. But do you believe that it's possible that he's doing all this? That he's the one making these cuts?
He just signed an extension contract, right?
Yeah.
Of course, he's going to say whatever the machine wants him to say. Because,
but that's not what I asked you, though, Gerard. Do you believe it?
No freaking way in hell.
You believe that Paul Levesque is out there cutting these guys and kicking them and firing them?
No.
Not when Mark Shapiro came out 2 weeks before that and said, "Oh yeah, we have in leaked audio, mind you, not a public interview, nothing that was meant to be heard, that TKO has 100% creative control over WWE."
I'm going to put it like, I think we said it before, to where it's like the professional sports owners. They own the team. They've never played a down. They've never swung a bat, never shot a basket, never swung a stick. But they think they know all the athletes and how to go out and do their jobs. It must be nice to be the owners of this company or the president of the company and think they know what they can do. Like, I'll put it like this. Let Mark Shapiro take his dumbass into the ring. Let Ari Emanuel take their dumbass into the ring.
Well, like I said, speaking of which, if you look at this thumbnail, it's a picture of Ari Emanuel with a bunch of cash. A man's making $30 million a year to do what?
He's never taken a bump. Now, mind you, like you said, you've taken one bump in your life, and it's your only bump.
Good. I'm good. Don't need to fucking do it. I'm good. That shit hurt.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this: the bump was the bump was.
But I'll tell you, an owner who would never ask his guys to do something.
I'm not going to praise Vince. Fuck you. I'm not going to praise Vince, but I will say this: what hurt worse than that bump is the way that fucking cable felt like it peeled the skin off the side of my fucking back. Fuck it.
I'm just saying, as though a lot of wrestlers come out and tell you he's the only boss I've ever had who won't ask me to do something if he doesn't do it.
No, and I give you that, but then again, we it doesn't change. They can both be pieces of shit. One is ruining my entertainment and ruining something like one of my childhood fucking loves. That's what they're doing. One is just a piece of shit who's done horrible fucking things. There's not a winner here. There's not a good guy or bad guy here. They're both fucking bad people. One is fucking up my entertainment. The other one has fucked up people's lives. So I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon of Vince and say all this positive shit. I'll say as far as running a company, he did a much better job. Doesn't take away. Doesn't mean I want Vince back.
He did a better job of running the company, and we can both agree creatively was past his prime.
Absolutely.
I guess that's the one thing we can say. Hey, creatively, we both know he needed to go. But as the business person, I think business would be better under him.
Business 100%.
Yeah, that's what business would be better under him. Creatively, he was past his prime. And, you can put it like the owner of your football team. In his prime in the early 90s, he couldn't make a bad call. Right now, He can't do a damn thing to save his freaking team.
But you look at this and that question there. I don't know. Is he also damaged goods too? Because remember, this is a guy that wanted to make it look like he could go toe to toe with Brock Lesnar.
I'll put it you like this. When he first came back and he said, I watched you take this company and run it into the ground.
Yeah.
Ratings are lower. The stock is down. And then Vince turns around and says, I'm going to put you in the ring with Undertaker. He should have let him run with that theory and not put him in the ring with Taker.
We're also talking about a guy who said that he wanted to do X, Y, and Z, and he said you could do that after you can stick this knife in my heart.
I bet you he didn't give Stephanie that offer.
All I'm saying is we're talking about a guy who told his own son that the only way that he would ever have control is if he stuck the steak knife in my heart. I'm sorry. These are stories coming from his own children. I'm contrary to believe that this man is not the fucking father of the year. Hey, even though I understand that being a.
What if Shane had done it?
Well, remember what he said, and if you don't do it, I got to take that into consideration as well. This is coming from me, someone who's had well-known issues with family members with his own parental figures. That'll fuck you up for years because you're always trying to capture what is not there. You're wanting the love of a parent. You're wanting the respect of a parent. You're wanting them to trust you to be able to do what you know you can do.
You want a pat on the back.
Hey. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Please enlighten us on that story. For fuck's sake.
So I don't know when the picture or the video was taken. It was after something Shane had done. And so he was hugging Vince. And he said that was the first time he ever felt his dad pat him on the back. Like, good job. It wasn't Vince. It was his kid that pat him on the back.
Well, I'll put it like this. What I was about to say is, in every interview you ever see with Stephanie McMahon, she talks about how her daughters someday would like to be part of the company. You never hear about Shane's kids.
Because he taught them better, that they don't need that company to live their lives.
Think about that. It's in one's blood. The other one, it should be in their blood. He is so scarred by his father. He doesn't want his kids around the business.
And if you sit there and look at the boys, Shane's boys, they are happy, they look well adjusted, they're taken care of. It doesn't look like they're machines. They never experienced the shit that Shane had to go through. Look, Vince, I believe, was a tyrant. Vince was also, I don't know, man. It's a very fucked up situation. We're talking about the guy who wanted to have wrestlers and Kurt Angle stick his tongue down his own daughter's throat. Remember the fucking stuff that allegedly with Andre the Giant, the Macho Man, all this other stuff? And Macho even admitted that him and Stephanie at 18 years old had a relationship. He was on a drunken high, and he told Gorgeous George that, yeah, I did it. And apparently
sorry, if you're 18-year-old Stephanie, how are you not?
I look like this.
You're telling me at 18 years old you want to feel the madness?
I'm 18 years old. I had Gorgeous George in front of me.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about an 18-year-old Trips the Light over here wanting to feel the madness. Oh, yeah.
I think Gorgeous George, even me at 18, you at 18, if she wanted to take a trip to Space Mountain, no.
Please, you weren't ever Space Mountain. You were the teacups at best.
Listen, like I just said, if she would have said, hey, you want to take a trip to Space Mountain, I would have been like,
dude, if Moolah said that at your age, you would have been like, okay, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fabulous Moolah, you would have been like,
no, Fabulous Moolah. Well, Sherry, maybe, when I was 18. But I'm just saying the fact of when you look at the business as a whole today.
Yeah, but see, okay, but you also know that they wanted to buy the UFC back in the day too. Shane wanted to. Shane wanted to be part of that. Shane was smart enough to see the future coming.
Hey, there was an old pay-per-view called Sold Out. I think the wrestling business has sold out to the commercial business.
100%. There's not a matter of
They
if.
sold out the advertising. You know, I don't just think it's one company. I think all the companies are sold out to the advertising, and
I don't think that AEW has done that. I really don't. I truly believe they haven't. I believe that they have masters that they have to appease at times, but that's WB.
Hey, in the words of Chuck Woolery, what happened to 2 and 2? We'll be back in 2 and 2. 2 and 2 has become 302, 252, 232. Because all forms of entertainment now want to get that extra ad dollars in, instead of just saying, hey, remember when we were growing up, it was 2 minutes and 2 seconds. That's what it was.
Yeah, but you're old.
But you remember 2 and 2?
But you're old.
Don't you remember 2 and 2? We'll be back in 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
You're old. But okay. So
Yeah, now it's 6'7".
It's 6'7", bro. 6'7". Get on the ground. 6'7".
I don't know what that goofy number means.
I don't either.
I knew 6'9" when I was growing up.
Oh, wow.
Jesus, how old are you? So we get into the main event.
Yes.
And I will tell you this, before we even start the main event, this is around this time that I really started looking at the ring and stuff. Not one advertisement on the buckles. Not one Prime logo on the fucking mat. You did have your fucking Riyadh season thing in the corners, and you had a giant WWE logo in the center of the ring. And then you had Jacob come out, and he looked great. You had Roman come out. Fantastic as always. He still has the crowd in the palm of his hand, which it adds to the cadence that I told you, Roman Reigns is a better champion to have if you're trying to build your market back. He's money. Roman Reigns is fucking money. That's just what it is. You may not like it, but Roman Reigns is going to put more butts in seats than CM Punk. I'm sorry. The match wasn't bad. I enjoyed the back and forth. I love the story they were telling. You have Jacob, who's just on top of force, using an illegal move. And I don't mean by illegal as in the match. I mean family, the heritage. You're using the Tongan death grip. He played to that. He licked his fingers. He had tape on his fingers, just like his uncle does. He was bringing back Ming. And I remember Ming Haku in WCW. It was beautifully done. The wife of Ming, the daughter of Ming is the one who put together the lei that he was wearing out there. And then we get to the end of the match. We got a one ref bump, which apparently the ref just survived it. He was okay, dropped to his fours. I know. He gets up. And then next thing you know, they're arguing again, and somehow or another, the rope, because this is what's going to drive. It's not anything about the bump. This is what's going to drive him nuts. Being a former ring attendant, being a former guy who put the ring together, Gerard's going to say they need to fire the fucking ring boy who didn't tie that buckle on tight enough. What the fuck? That's what Gerard's going to get upset about, is because they didn't tie the ring buckle tight enough.
I'm not going to get upset at that. I'm getting upset at the fact of, are they starting to use that ring that
fuck yes, I can tell you at least 3.
George Steele, I don't think would after this many freaking turnbuckles. Okay, so
you know what? That's a marketing thing they never fucking capitalized on. The George Steele sweater.
No, they did the mine. The little
no, they never capitalized on a shirt or a sweater that looked like George Steele's chest hair.
Okay, like any woman in her mind would like, oh, that's attractive. I gotta have that.
They could have shaved his ass down every fucking 3 weeks and made another one. All they had to do is shear him like a fucking sheep.
Every 3 days.
It's disgusting.
McGilla Gorilla.
The George the Animal Steel sweater for your love for your wife.
All you had to do was call Matt Bloom, and you get the same. You'll get the same thing.
You mean Albert? Fucking.
Yes.
But no, I thought everything up to the end of that match, and now again they're going back to the old booking where they're going to have a rematch. And again, I hope Jacob wins, because I'd like to see Jacob Fatu with the title.
I'll put it to you like this. I'm going to tell you a couple of things. The ref bump was atrocious.
Yes, absolutely.
And then when he took the Samoan, the referee, when he took the Samoan drop, screwed that up 6 ways of Tuesdays.
He's a referee, for fuck's sake. What do you expect?
See, he had never been trained to do anything like that.
Is he supposed to? He's a ref.
He looked so. Kyoto would have taken it right.
You would have
taken it right.
You wouldn't have taken it right. Big time wrestling.
Yeah, would have.
You would not have taken that shit right.
Yes,
You would have tried it. You would have tried to
call him big time wrestling.
I did call him big time wrestling. You would have never taken that right. Big time wrestling. You know what? You would have tried to fucking no sell it, knowing your ass.
Better than what he did.
You would have no sell that. You would have got up. You would have popped right back up and tried to go back to your refereeing duties.
I'm going to go back to the Aubrey Edwards, Jade Cargill thing, to where Audrey Edwards held back Jade Cargill by herself.
You would have done the same shit knowing your ass. He would have tried to hold back Brock Lesnar. He would have done that shit.
8 people in the ring yesterday, and they can't hold back Jacob Fatu.
But that was the point.
He's a wolf. He's tough.
He's tough. He's a werewolf.
Oh.
No. Watching Sugar Shane Helm gets his head kicked off, that was funny.
I love how you call him Sugar Shane.
And then watching Adam Pearce get thrown out of the ring.
Yeah, that was
which the crowd popped for that. But it could have been better. Were you expecting interference?
No. Because what Jacob said Friday, I think it led to that. I think that's what shut that down. Because when he told Jimmy and Jay, if you interfere in my match on Saturday, I will burn the whole family tree to the ground.
I thought Drew McIntyre was going to come out.
I don't think. No, I don't. The reason why is because I don't think Drew McIntyre is the one. I think they're saving that, right? I don't think Drew McIntyre is the one that busted his teeth out in storyline. I think they've been saving that because Drew, to the end, said he never did it. And Drew's a lot of things, but his character, like if you look at his character, he's evil, he's fucking a piece of shit. He's always saying his character's not a liar. And that's why people don't like his character because his.
What I meant by, I thought he was going to come in the ring and take out both.
Why? Fuck, don't you start with his 1980s booking again.
No.
You want Hogan to come out with a black eye and go, and then, you want me to do it for you, brother? And you want him to drop the Yokozuna leg drop on Roman? And
that don't work for me, brother.
You want Nick Hogan to come out and relive, put on the big diaper, the big yellow diaper?
If he ever shows up in a ring, okay, I'm done. I'm shutting it off, changing the channel, don't care what happens. Packing it up, going home. I'm good to go with that. Nick Belair got no place in a WWE ring.
I do too. Confused. I there was something about that back in the day.
What?
But
pre-PG era.
Pre-PG wrestling. What we also didn't talk about, is something that Gerard is near and dear to his heart.
Oh God.
He's cousins with this man, twice removed, on his grandmother's sister's brother's side. He came out, and I wasn't a fan of his suit. I like the pinstripes. They're not doing him any favors with those hair plugs, but he came out. He is the greatest of all time, the never seen 17. And he talked about what we all figured was going to be about the Club WWE, which I still think it was meant to be. I think that the backlash they got, no pun intended, from the outpouring of booze they were going to get if it was about Club WWE. And he talked about a tournament that's going to happen. It's going to be called the John Cena semi-annual fire sale, fan appreciation, people power. Did I say semi-annual? Classic Revolution Tournament of America. That's the full name. I'm not making this up. That's the full name. I'm not saying it. Other people are saying it. Other people are saying it. It's the John Cena, who's going to be the greatest, most big, beautiful tournament we've ever seen. The fans are going to be so involved. It's going to be beautiful. They're going to be big, giant belts. They're going to make all kind of things. We're Gerard's a big part of this. It was Gerard's idea. The first round, John Cena is going to be the referee, and The Miz is going to face a cardboard cutout of himself. It's going to be amazing. The fans are going to push this cardboard cutout. It's going to be a big deal. It's going to send us into the next generation of wrestling.
So they're going to American Idol the matches, right? Because the fans get to vote.
Yeah, they're gonna American Idol the fucking matches. And Gerard was very happy and excited before we started this program today. He was, I mean, the excitement to see his boy John Cena come out
Was palpable.
is palpable. You can cut it with a knife. So, Gerard, I want you to talk about your excitement for this tournament, the John Cena semi-annual creative classic Esquire.
I already know who year one's going to win.
Who?
Owen Hart.
Wow. Too soon. Too fucking soon, you dick.
Well, if you're giving the fans the right to vote, it doesn't even need to be. I guess it doesn't even need to be the guy in the match, because he already said the guy.
So it's your booking style, then, right?
I just think it's a. Let's just say what it is. It's a gimmick, probably to go against the Owen Hart Memorial Cup.
I didn't even think about that. It is. Are you?
What happened to the Dusty Rhodes thingy? Wasn't there a Dusty Rhodes?
Yeah, the tag team classic.
Yeah,
classic. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you put it out there. What if the fans vote for a guy who's not even in the thing?
I'm sure there'll be rules and barriers to prevent that from happening.
He said
there's no right. I'm sure there's no write-in option. There might be. But.
Do you have that baby still that's doing the Obafemi dance? Can you find that baby? Find that baby. I think we need a palate cleanse after this.
What? Are you sad? Are you mad that you didn't think of that yourself?
Yeah. They're pissing on fucking Owen Hart again.
Pissing on him.
Hold on. We need a palate cleanse. I need this. Okay.
But I'm not pissing on him.
Not you. Your company is, because you're fucking WWE Mark.
Why? Because I said they could be looking to steal.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Look at that baby. That baby's going to be a champion one day. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
I'm enjoying this baby. Look at that baby. That baby can be Brock Lesnar right now. Look at he knows. He knows it too. Look at that baby. Look at that baby go.
Get over here.
Look at that. That dog is terrified. Look at baby Oba. Well, what you don't know is that's Gerard. That's an old video of Gerard walking out of the bathroom after a successful trip.
I think that video is racially profiling.
When was the last time you had your Geritol, old man?
I'm just saying. I think it's if that had been a
no, don't you dare! Don't you dare! You leave it alone. We're not going to go there. We're not. This show.
Pivot.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna nip it right there. We're gonna cut it right there. We're done. We can't have. This is why we can't have nice things, Gerard. This is why, because of you.
Babies on the show.
Can't even have fucking babies on the show. You know what we could have? Megan
Dual
Bain.
Continent WrestleMania 2027.
Ah, you didn't hear about that, Gerard?
The what?
I'll let you take it away on that one.
WWE, I'm sure more TKO than WWE, is exploring hosting WrestleMania across 2 different continents on the same weekend to maximize revenue and global presence.
Meaning, Gerard Billet's favorite company in the world, TKO, is talking about not only doing night 1 in Saudi Arabia, but doing night 2 here in the States.
Which to me, I was talking to somebody about this. They don't want to open up to let another wrestling company have any kind of shot of doing something in the States the nights of WrestleMania. Think about that. No, they're talking about next year.
No, they're talking about next year, Leland.
They're talking about next year.
Because they know how bad the fucking backlash has been from Saudi Arabia.
I don't know why I can't put Twitch's comments up, but Convulsal Tessa says WWE equals cash grab. Bethesda must be jealous.
But think about that, though.
Yes. Yes.
If that's what they have to do to block Tony Khan from getting into New York City next year on the nights of WrestleMania, because you're over in Saudi Arabia at 1 o'clock.
But I just thought about something, Gerard. I want you to listen to this. Listen to me. Hear me out when I say this. Who had the relationship with New York? Who had that relationship?
WWE.
No. One man had that relationship with New York because his father was New York. His father was, yeah. His father was the owner of what territory? What was the name of that territory? It wasn't Florida Championship Wrestling.
Capital Championship Wrestling.
It wasn't Florida. It wasn't Jim Crockett Promotions. It wasn't Championship Wrestling from Georgia. Capital Wrestling, the Capital Wrestling Company, right? And where did they base out of?
Fall River, Massachusetts.
Okay, and that territory led all the way to where?
Washington D.C.
To where?
Presque Isle, Maine.
And in between there was New York City. So Vince got that from his dad.
Yep.
He got that automatic loyalty from New York City. Ari Emanuel, whose base of operations I believe was in Las Vegas, right? They didn't the firings didn't come out of Stanford. The firings came from TKO. Does WWE still have the stronghold they had in New York? And if Ari Emanuel calls up and says, "Hey, MGS, I'm sorry, MSG, we need you to block this AEW bullshit from coming through." Do they have enough sway?
Like I've said to somebody else, they can go into Barclays, they can go into the Meadowlands, they can go to that place in Long Island, the UBS Arena. Okay.
Tissa, you're absolutely fucking right. And that's what I talked about Gerard a couple weeks ago about, with this monopoly of fucking companies, you got 3 places you can go, and WWE owns 2 of them. So it's like, what the fuck?
So my thing about that is this. You have Double or Nothing at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
But because they haven't announced next year's WrestleMania dates yet,
they're waiting.
Tony Khan, the night of Double or Nothing, should say, we'll be back in New York sometime early next year. And whatever those dates are, stay tuned to follow.
Let me ask you
That's
this.
where he's going.
Let me ask you this, and anybody watching, let me ask you all this, because we seem to have, and I love this, on the Twitch side, on the YouTube side, we have people who seem to be fucking knowledgeable about fucking time. I love it. Do they still have the sway with the bad publicity they're getting? Do you, as a building owner, okay, say you own MSG, say you own the Barclays, say you own any of these things, are you really wanting to be in WWE business right now with how much shit they're getting?
What's the one thing all these buildings want to do? They all want to make money too. Now, Somebody would tell you. Everybody would tell you. Right now, Madison Square Garden is not a profitable building to go into.
No.
Not. Okay.
Barclays is still good.
Barclays Center is. Meadowlands is.
Yeah.
And that UBS Arena out in Long Island is. So, if you can get in there on a night, like, put it this way, if they go from Saudi Arabia to the Meadowlands, are you as a fan going to want to spend $300, $400, $500 for one night of WrestleMania where the other show happened over on the pond, across the pond? And there's no guarantee. And
again, you're gonna have to get a government escort over there. Fucking
hold on. The guys who are wrestling in New York never leave the States.
No, hold on. As a fan, you're gonna have to get on the blockade. You're gonna have to go through the Strait of Hormuz just to get over to WrestleMania. And then you gotta have to take that back just to get through. And
yeah, the logistics of it for WWE would be an absolute.
Well, and not only that, okay, but there's something.
Now, unless they don't care about the logistics of the fans.
Well, no, but there's something you and I have never discussed on this because it's never been your bag. It's never been your thing. There's something that the WrestleMania card and the WrestleMania venue brings to the independent side.
It brings a weekend. No, it brings a weekend.
A week of wrestling.
No, not a wrestling. It brings a week of every independent guy, every former WWE guy. What's it bring? It brings a 4-day, 5-day WrestleCon to where you can walk in there and basically all these old-time wrestlers pimp themselves out and make a fortune in 5 days.
You should talk about them. You were there the other day talking to Vince. Don't give me that shit. You were over there talking to Vince Russo and the greatest fucking Hall of Famer in the last year, Repo Man.
Like I just said, it gives these guys a chance to pimp themselves out.
They're not pimping themselves out, you sick fuck.
If you listen to how I'm saying it, okay? They make as much as they can in the 5 days they're doing it.
And then you know what you are? You're just a fucking John who's going over there to get.
If you let me finish, I got no problem with it because I don't have a problem with them doing it. I got a problem with
because they're servicing you. That's why.
I got a problem with the stupid fans who are paying the money to get it done.
You went to it. You went to it last week.
I didn't pay a damn thing.
So look here, bro. You were over there having a time of your life, bro, hanging out with somebody, bro.
And what I'm just saying is the fact of when you're piggybacking off their event, okay? Let's just call it you're piggybacking off of them.
Yeah.
Or piggybanking off of them. Let's just say piggybanking off of them. To go over and do it in Saudi Arabia, who the hell's going to want to jump on?
Nobody. That's the thing. But okay. But I also think that might be part of why WWE, other than money, decided to do it because they want every dollar for themselves. We're talking about a company that is, and we've been victims of it too. They have hit us with fucking strikes or whatever because we have an opinion. It's been more prolific. There are wrestling-based channels, which this isn't a wrestling-based channel. We do whatever the fuck we want on this channel, but they're having their videos demonetized, taken down, struck, whatever it may be, by WWE. So if they go, well, hold on. So if they go overseas, no one's going. WrestleCon's not going to fucking Saudi Arabia.
Correct.
So they're every fucking feasible dollar is going in their pocket, no one's else's. But now that this shit's happened, and people are saying that, oh my god, there's another viable option that's cost affordable that people are really enjoying that has better fucking wrestling, whether you want to admit it or not.
I'll tell you one thing. Barclays Center, night of WrestleMania. Okay? Tony Khan tells the fans 3 months in advance. Listen to this one. You're not buying a ticket, you're putting your name in a raffle. Because every ticket's free. As long as your name's in the raffle.
Will you stop with your 1980s book? They got to make $1, motherfucker.
No, hear me out. You would make $1. But could you imagine doing a show in New York where everybody who got in the building won their way into the building?
I think you need to stop using your fucking weird wrestling booking for the fans. Leave the fans alone. They've suffered enough. We've all suffered enough.
You're gonna tell me If you could get free tickets into a show where all you had to do is enter a
But
raffle.
he doesn't have to do that.
No, what I'm saying is, look at what I did.
No. You know what he did? He gave us affordable tickets here when we went to what was it, Garland? We went to Garland, Texas. We were damn near able to spit on the wrestlers. Had an amazing time. For the ticket we bought in WWE, I'm going to be in the back fucking row on the top of the arena behind a pipe next to a stinky fat guy named Jeb.
What I'm saying to you is this: why am I doing the raffle? I'm going to make the money back, but I want you to have your money to enjoy with all the other activities we're going to put on, because another company decided to go across the ocean. We're going to save all your money.
Thank you, Leland.
I know.
Thank you.
Listen.
Thank you, Leland. You're amazing. Leland, you're the voice of reason. Maybe when this guy right here finally loses his mind and we have to put him into a home, you can take over, Leland.
I'm just saying as a fact of, if you did it like that, I want you to save your money and go spend it on all these other activities, because the people who are supposed to be here chose 300 million reasons to go across to the
Hear
other
me
side.
out on that. Hear me out on that. That's not. But I get where you're coming from. You've lost your fucking mind. This is the same guy who wanted to see the Miz fight a cardboard cutout. Anyway,
I would watch that. But okay, so if they're going to say they do a dual continent, where's the Hall of Fame done? So the logistics, like how they can't fucking book 2 nights in the same motherfucking city. How are you going to book a night over in Saudi Arabia, a night over here in America? Have your Hall of Fame ceremony, because how are you? I think it's a question.
This is what you do.
Tissa, ding, 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 Tissa. What you both aren't what I was getting at, and I want you to hear me out, Gerard. Why do they need to boot for free when they're going to get, if they do this properly, right? Tony has one shot at this. Let's just say it like it is. Tony has one shot at this. Those companies follow WrestleMania, WrestleCon. All these motherfuckers follow wherever they literally are sitting on the edge of their seats going, okay, where are they going to do WrestleMania? They're going to do Texas? Okay, we got to plan for Texas. Oh, they're going to do it in Georgia? We got to plan for Georgia. Oh, we're going to do it in Florida? Okay, we're going to do our stuff in Florida. What if that changes? What if now it's AEW is going to do all out, all in? We got to be there. We got to be. So then
I said you change. I said to somebody, I was talking to Lee. I said, not all in or all out. Everybody's in.
That is the worst name for a fucking thing I've ever heard.
No, which means
that is the worst name for a fucking pay-per-view I've ever heard.
Everybody's in.
Welcome to AEW. Everybody's in.
Why?
That's a good name for a sex tape, though. That's a damn good name for a sex tape. and just ding, 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 ding. Yep, so fucking literally, you're right.
What?
So we have another stream on YouTube and one on Twitch, and Tissa says WWE doesn't care about the fans one bit.
Whoever said they did?
You did.
No,
You loved it so much.
We just said it earlier tonight. We said it earlier. WWE cares very much about the fans. TKO gives the shits about the fans.
WWE is TKO now, my friend.
No, it's the other way around.
It is. I'm sorry, my brother. WWE is TKO now.
And I'm saying
because if Paul Levesque is willing to take, and I love Triple H. I loved his booking. I loved everything that he's done until I love this. But if he's willing to take the heat, he's willing to be the bad guy for a company that doesn't give two shits about about the sport and a promotion that made him who he is. He's willing to go, all right, yeah, I'll be the bad guy. That tells you all you need to know. I understand he has a family. I understand that he has to make that bread. I get that. But WWE is no longer WWE.
Here's a question for you. Who steps into his role if he walks out the door?
The gingerbread man.
Bruce Pritchard.
Bruce Pritchard.
My other question is
Mike Chioda.
How long would he be unemployed for?
45 minutes.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say 10.
WWE only cares about how much they can get from the fans. It used to be about the fans, but now, nah. Watched it change to crap slop it is today. You're not wrong.
WWE, we waste everybody's time.
You were in love with this company last week.
A lot can happen in a week. Look what
we didn't talk last week.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
How does it feel to be on the right side of the fence now?
I'm always on the right side of the fence.
We're going to sit here and pretend like for the last 2 years of us doing this podcast, this guy did not have a dildo that had the words WWE on it, constantly sitting on it every
I'm
fucking
always
week.
on the right side of the fence. It depends on which side you're standing on. I'm on the right side. You've just been standing on the wrong side.
I've been with on the AEW side of things this entire time.
You know, just when you think you got all the answers.
You're the guy who wants to bring blackface back to wrestling. That's the thing.
But hey, listen.
He didn't say no. That's the problem. He just sat there and was like,
I'll tell you this right now. It might be better booking than what some of the things they do now.
We did have little people being tossed around.
Right. No, we didn't have. We had midgets. They call them midgets.
They're called little people.
They're called midgets. They call them midgets.
I don't like that word.
Yeah, I know.
Tessa, I have been watching WWE since I was 4 years old. My dad used to take me to the Dallas Sportatorium. Wrestling is ingrained into my soul.
How old was she when she first started?
How old were you when you first started watching wrestling?
No, I'm talking about Tesla.
I don't know. When you get back to us, Tessa, you let us know how long you've been watching wrestling. How long? You were hold on, but you were at
Surfer Sting.
Tessa is 52.
My age. Can she remember the first match she ever saw?
Mine involved gentleman Chris Adams.
If you woke up from a 5-year coma and turned on WWE, you would never realize even Vince left.
Chayton says he wants us to give all his human money. She said, give me a sec. That was fucking eons ago.
Give me all your human money. How's it Chayton?
I can't, Chayton. It fell in the toilet.
She's 1 year younger than me.
I'm sorry.
And I can tell you, Jimmy Snuka, the night he got destroyed.
Who?
Jimmy Snuka, the night he got destroyed by Ray the Crippler Stevens in Lou Albano.
She remembers Iron Sheik versus Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh my God. Good.
The fuck was that? Good.
Yeah.
Meat good. Gerard happy. Gerard like double E. Yes.
I grew up on Polish Power.
Ivan Putski?
Yes.
That also sounds like
Polish Power, Ivan Putski.
Yep. Give me a blimp too while you're at it. Hey, snooker is a form of pool.
Yeah, that's right, Leland. Jimmy, again, he has his own visions of WWE. He loves John Cena, the Murs, Jimmy Snooker,
Superfly,
Ravishing Rock Rudy.
I don't.
What? Mueller.
The Fabulous Mueller.
Hacksaw. Whoa!
Haxer, Jim Durgan.
It's funny when he came into that place last week. That's all everybody saw. That's all I heard was. Oh!
The only one he always gets right is Roddy Piper.
Speaking of that, when we do a show next Saturday, you know what's on right after we get off the show next Saturday?
What?
Rowdy Ronda Rousey gets back into the ring.
Oh, against Gina Carano?
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah.
Are we going to watch
No, ma'am. It was Haxer.
At WrestleMania.
Just so you got to get it right. It's Haxer. Haxer Jim Durgan.
Was the Great Snooki at WrestleMania 5. Star match. What? Snooki was not at WrestleMania 5?
Hacksaw. Yes, she was. Hacksaw Jim Snooki.
I thought that was Snooki was. She's part of the Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore wasn't even around in '89.
Ho!
Oh my God.
That's what they have in common, Snooki and Hacksaw. They both like to go, ho!
I was gonna say. Well, in Atlantic City at that time, you could get some great Snooki for $5.
Jesus Christ, Gerard.
But it smelled like fish.
Well,
Mackerel.
I watched the Gina match.
You going to watch a Gina or Carano?
Are we really not going to watch that?
We can watch it. Nate's fighting that night, too.
Bring back barbed wire. I'd like to see that.
Barbed wire in a
barbed wire match?
A barbed wire match in UFC?
No!
Oh,
This is a wrestling podcast. What's wrong with you?
I was gonna say a barbed wire match in UFC. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, let's put fucking a car battery on the side and hook it up to the barbed wire.
Listen, did you see? Hey, I still ask you. Did you see Jack Swagger smack the hell out of that dude?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
what?
don't get that. I don't like watching that.
I do too. Just I was watching fucking Hoist Gracie and fucking Ken Shamrock because my dad would buy the tapes from Blockbuster Video.
Wow. Did she get her answer yet about what her first match she saw?
She did. She said Sergeant Slaughter versus. See, that's the Alzheimer's sticking in right there.
Sergeant and Iron Sheik, but
Yes.
the one where Sergeant Slaughter came out in the military. He came out and won. He was driving the car dressed in military gear, camouflage.
It took him 15 minutes to say camouflage. We need to get him checked.
Hey, sorry, I've never been pleasured to serve in the military.
Not talking. There's nothing to do with it. What the fuck?
Listen, Andre, you could almost crush.
Gerard, I told you to wrestle at the WrestleMania.
I could say, well, I'll win because you won't take a bump.
Yeah, fuck that. I ain't doing that shit again.
What?
Dude, what?
My first match was the greatest match in wrestling history. Hogan versus Warrior at Halloween Havoc. Somebody's delusional.
So he went to the same school as you for wrestling, right? Right?
Hogan versus Warrior, Halloween Havoc? Yeah, that turned Halloween into a Havoc.
Was it that, or was it when DDP and fucking Goldberg? Oh,
wait a minute. Oh, hold on. At least it wasn't the finger poke of doom. Which is some brutal crap.
But back to what we've been talking about. Like I said, when we were gone, all these cuts happened. Can you believe the New Day's gone?
I'm going to put.
I know that years ago we had an argument, you, myself, and Jacob, and someone else here, who argued that I talked about the Usos being one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Y'all got mad, but y'all still said the New Day was up there. They just got rid of one of their greatest tag teams ever.
I don't think they've been the same without Big E.
I agree, but you just got rid of.
Hey, I'm no fault of his own. There's no fault of his own of Big E's. Okay.
100%. New Day versus the Young Bucks.
What did I say at the beginning? I said they're all under the 90-day clause, which puts it right in at all.
Tissa says she's old enough to remember Sergeant Slaughter and G.I. Joe.
Oh my God. Real American hero. Fighting Cobra and Death Row. G.I. Joe.
Now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
You told us to remind you of something. What was it?
Sturgis.
So,
and I want to get back to the firings, but I was looking because there's a WCW channel, right? This is one thing that WWE is doing good is they brought back a channel that's literally devoted to all of the old WCW. I've been watching a lot of fucking the Boogeyman, Jimmy Valiant. I love Jimmy Valiant.
No, tell me you're watching this 83-year-old last match.
I'm not. I like Jimmy Valiant. I used to love Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. How do you not like the Boogie Woogie Man? Do me a favor. I want you to find a picture of Jimmy Valiant back in his day, and I want because there's some people here that may not know who Jimmy Valiant is.
He's the Boogie Woogie Man.
And yes, who is looking forward to watching ads in Italy?
Oh, hey,
look for a different one. He's
Wait a minute.
with his full beard.
hey, wait a minute, hold on.
Look for the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant.
That's even. Hey,
No, go back. That works. No, it's not even. Go back.
that's if Europe doesn't get shut down by then. Dan,
The one you had before.
well, that's if Europe doesn't get shut down by then.
Yeah, use that one.
Because if Europe gets shut down by then because of this hectavirus or whatever it's called,
The Hector virus?
whatever it's called,
The Hector virus?
I don't know, the hecta, whatever it's called. This virus. That
I
comes
want
from-
everyone to know that this channel does not the Hanta virus.
Okay.
Yeah, we all got it because I'm Mexican, so now it's the Hector virus. Really? Is that where you were going with that? It came
No.
from Mexico?
I'm saying for ads in Italy, and because remember that
Thank you, Tissa.
that boat docked in Spain. We don't know where those people went. What if they want to spread it to everybody?
They've already let like 25 people off the boat
Yeah,
before it even docked. So there's already people in Texas and Georgia and France,
And Boston,
Spain, everywhere.
Massachusetts.
All because two bird watchers wanted to go to a rat-infested landfill and look for a certain kind of bird.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
The Hector virus. The fucking Hector virus.
It's less scary.
Yep.
What is Fall River and Dunks?
Huh? Fall River Dunkin' Donuts. That's what Dunkin' Donuts got to start. Fall River, Massachusetts.
Oh, so I think Tissa's from Massachusetts.
Aha.
That is the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy
Dan,
Valiant.
look at the challenge for House of Satan.
DJ Bones, if you're still here, I'll get in touch with you so we can have a Hector virus shirt. Yeah, I can do that. The Rebel Black, the Hector virus.
I asked Tessa if she went to the Fan Fest last week. It was right outside of Fall River.
Because apparently I'm his middleman, Ned. Tessa, did you go to the Fall River convention?
No, it was
outside of Fall River?
She can hear you. We can't.
Yeah, it was a Seacon.
I love how he thinks she's like right here, though. Hey, that's Tessa. She's in Michigan now.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Can't avoid conventions.
who was the one that Jacob was almost going to get married to? Who was that one? It was another girl.
It wasn't a girl. It was a guy who had a YouTube channel that does animations who
Oh,
found.
yeah.
Yeah, he had a wife or something like that. That Jacob's like, Jacob's going Google over her.
Like that way you look at Megan Bain. Load it
No.
up. Get it ready. If you want to see Gerard in the chat, if y'all would like to see Gerard's face turn into that of Brother Love, let me know.
So now we're doing the John Cena challenge, huh?
It's not a challenge. I'm just saying. I don't even have to worry about it.
It's an I quit match anyway.
It's not a quit match.
I quit match. I sent you a message.
Did you just send me an AI video, AI picture of the Hector virus? Look at this. Fucker just sent me. This is why we don't allow Chayton to use fucking AI.
The hectavirus. That's a picture of the hectavirus?
No, that's Megan Bain. Look at his face. Look at it. You can see it from here. Look how red his face is getting. Look at get a picture of Brother Love and put it.
I look like Bird Girl. I look like Bird Girl.
Yeah, your bird is for that girl. Ew.
Thecla is all mine. The cause that's a woman behind.
No, it's not. That's a weird amalgamation of. Bleh.
Thecla is all mine though, because that's a woman right there.
He does. Look how red his face gets whenever
Who is
Put her
Thecla?
back up. Oh yeah, I guess look up Tekla because Trips hates Tekla too.
Oh my god, I hate her. Spider Girl.
Spider Girl.
Fuck that bitch.
Oh,
Don't like
I like Jamie Hayter, but you already Trips will tell you it's because of the cheeks.
The cheeks are just the way in. It's the appetizer.
The cheeks are the way in. Just the appetizer.
don't be go putting up no Soruka now.
Oh yeah. To be fair, yeah. If there's anybody that makes Gerard lose his shit, it's fucking Sol Ruka.
Why?
I didn't kick y'all out. I just did it by itself.
What'd you do, Gerard?
I think we got cursed.
Oh, you ready to show off Tekla? I don't get the gimmick. See, I like Megan Bain, but I'm not.
Who is this new girl that they're trying to compare to China?
Who the fuck are you talking about?
Some woman who picked up a man and slammed him on NXT Tuesday night. She came out in the black trunks, the black top, and just scooped up this guy and just slammed him.
I have no idea. That's Tekla.
Give me nightmares. It looks like a.
They can't hear you.
It does look like Luna Vachon with hair.
You're not even in the thing.
You know, that look like Luna
We'll try it
Vachon.
again. The moment has passed. She goes. When Gerard said that girl give you nightmares, she goes, exactly.
Yeah, Luna Vachon with hair.
I love Luna Vachon. You shut your mouth. You ever talk ill of Luna Vachon?
I'm just saying she wasn't the most.
She was beautiful.
That wasn't the most attractive woman in the world.
Oh, so basically, Chayton's saying that we had technical difficulties because we disrespected Tekla. Blech.
Oh yeah, okay. But to go back to the cuts and stuff like that, and what they did, other than the New Day and Aleister Black and
half of the fucking MFTs, and one that really
they cut out the whole Wyatt Six,
and that's what I was waiting for you to get to.
Oh my good lord!
So I need to talk to you about this. And will you pull up that Bully Ray thing, what he said about the Wyatt Six, and what they should have done with Bo Dallas? So if y'all don't know, I have basically a fucking shrine. I'll show y'all. And down there is a Bray Wyatt sitting in a chair, the action figures with the Fiend behind him. Wyndham Rotundum, in a time where I was done with wrestling, made me a believer again. He tragically passed. And as hard as it was for some of us fans, and I get it, like, we'll never meet these people like truly. Like, you can meet them at Fan Fest, you can meet them and stuff like that, but you'll never truly know these people. I don't have an Uncle Howdy mask. I don't think I would want an Uncle Howdy mask. But for what that family gave that company and how much he worked and how much he, they Bray Wyatt gimmick was, I don't think, ever truly understood, but it was beloved. Going all the way back to SCW when he was the Swamp Man, to the cult leader, ultimately to his greatest creation, which was the Fiend. You owe him. You owe him more than that. You owe his brother more than that. You owe his widow more than that. You owe his kids more than that. You owe that group of people that literally were willing to change everything about themselves to pay homage. you know, you don't understand how much that family meant and how much they believed in that character. Go back and look at Eric Rowan, Bo Dallas, and who's the other guy? He was playing the Huskus character in the Wyatt Six. Leland. No, the other one. Dexter Loomis's tag partner. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. And when they went through the Fiend's Firefly Funhouse in Universal Studios, and you have this 6'7" behemoth of a man, Joe Gacy and Eric Rowan coming out of that, and you have again this 6'7" behemoth of a man breaking down in tears because they were able to share that moment with Wyndham one more time. And you have a company who will never understand what loyalty means. You are just that right there. To watch them throw away an entire faction who are an embodiment of what we as fans are. Like they are everything. So I look at the Wyatt Six, and that's us, Gerard. They love the company they were working for. They love the business they worked for. And you just kick them to the curb like they're trash. Because that is what WWE has become.
I'm going to put you like this.
See you later, Shaden.
40 years of the Rotunda family was flushed down a toilet. 40 years. Mike, basically his whole career, his whole livelihood, what got him to raise his family, his boys, was that company. When they let go of Wyndham, they let go of him because they let go of the father.
They let go of Wyndham as well. They fired Bray Wyatt, remember? Right. And then they brought him back for that last run, and he tragically passed away.
So as of last week, 40 years of that family, they went over, took the handle, and flushed it to toilet. That's it. And don't get me wrong, the father had a hell of a run.
Yeah, he was part of the varsity club.
Money Inc. Okay. I put it this way.
Ultimately ended up becoming one of his most recognizable gimmicks, which was IRS.
He came up with the original Real American Music. Him and Barry Windham originally had that song. That was their song.
They were there. What was it called? What was that team called?
The All Americans.
Yeah.
Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda. Now, Barry, I think not being part of that tag team was a good thing for Barry. I think he went on and did a pretty good in his career.
Yeah.
Because didn't he go and be a member of the Four Horsemen?
Eventually, yeah, he went on to be.
Mike, look at what he turned himself into. He turned himself into IRS, okay? Then he was a backstage producer for many years. So he held a job there.
But they were responsible for some of the greatest moments in WWE because they loved their business. They brought their sons into the business. Bo Dallas. And again, Uncle Howdy is the brother of fucking Wyndham. And in one swoop, he just flushed it down the toilet. So did you find it?
Yeah, I have it. And then, but this is another example. We talk about Kyrie being cut when she's in the middle of a storyline. They just this last Halloween had the Firefly Funhouse at Universal Studios. And it was packed. And the fans loved it. And the Wyatt Six went through it. I mean, like WWE went and filmed the whole experience. So again, you're cutting things. You're not talking about people or a gimmick that's been shelved and not seen for months and months. It's something that was active. So Bully Ray said the following.
You had...
Hold on, Gerard.
Okay.
Bully Ray says that he would have never gotten rid of Bo Dallas after the Wyatt Six release, and that there would have been the right thing to do to keep him. Quote, am I shocked that the Wyatt Six are no longer here? No, I'm not shocked. However, I would have never got rid of Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas is the link to Bray. I would have kept Bo Dallas around. I would have kept Bo Dallas around, and I would have kept the character doing something. Even if Uncle Howdy, for the rest of his WWE career, was always trying to find a way to talk to Bray Wyatt, to The Fiend, one more time. And that was his entire story, his entire quest. Because the last time we saw the Fiend was in the WWE. So Uncle Howdy was always searching the WWE for the door, for the Stargate to find the Fiend. And we always saw him. And as we move along in his story, someone is always trying to stop him. I would have kept Bo Dallas around. This goes way beyond business. It goes beyond a bottom line of dollars and cents. To me, keeping Bo Dallas around would have been the right thing to do.
And that's where I go back to they flushed 40 years of that company, of that family.
Okay, so you know my wrestling history and knowledge. You know that you and I have talked about the 70s. We've talked about the 80s. We've talked about the 90s. And you know that my interest in wrestling has always been a bit of the darker side. Go back to the Papa Shangos, and then ultimately my first true favorite wrestler of all time being Jake the Snake Roberts. You know that. That love for wrestling and that love for the move, the DDT, would transfer. And on my birthday in 1996, the first time I got eyes on who would become the pretty much beacon for everything that I loved in wrestling, and that was Scott Levy, better known as Raven. And I got the privilege to talk to him and pick his brain. And then after the travesty and how they treated Raven, and then watching him go to TNA and thinking I'm never going to find anybody, any character, because that's what wrestling comes down to. For you, it was Hulk Hogan. That was your guy. That was the guy you bonded with as a kid. For me, it was Raven, and I thought I was never going to find that again. I was never going to be able to latch onto a character the way you're supposed to. That's what wrestling is about. You find that person you want to root for, and you want them to be a champion, and you want them to be great.
Escape from reality that you can get into.
The character that you bond with because you see yourself in them.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that finally when I turned on FCW one day. There was a guy talking about his daddy who was a boat captain. My daddy was a mean old man. And how his daddy's boat was burned into the ocean. About how he learned about the good book. About Sister Abigail. About how he was no king. There's no leaders. We are all brothers and sisters in the name of cause. And I watched how they turned a guy like Husky Harris into the cult, maniacal, diabolical promo machine that was Bray Wyatt. And I watched, and I saw him at WrestleMania 30 be buried by John Cena. And this is not John Cena's fault. This is the company's fault. And I watched how he struggled along, eventually getting the world title, only to lose it to Randy Orton in a piss-poor WrestleMania match years later. And then I watched him once again revive his career, which he had at this point become secondhand. That was just what he did. He showed you that you can kick him down. And he created a character that was loosely based off Mr. Rogers. And what a moment that was to watch The Fiend destroy Seth Rollins in Saudi Arabia and take that world title and become the unstoppable force that he was. It was always glimmers and sparks, never a fucking inferno. And then tragically we lose Bray Wyatt. I've watched this happen over and over again. And you would think that people would stop looking at money and start looking at fucking common sense and start looking at what it is to be a fucking human being. And you just threw away an entire family of people who were bonded together. No different than what they did. And I don't think Alexa Bliss retired the Fiend, the dark Alexa character, because it's something she wanted to do. She came back of her own volition wearing a jacket that said "Friends Forever" in homage to the Fiend. That Bray Wyatt changed her life for the better. That there's so many people that have come out and say how Wyndham helped them with their promos, taught them how to be better wrestlers, how to be better performers. And you take that family and you flush it down the toilet. So beyond IRS, beyond his other family, because Barry Windham is Bray Wyatt's uncle. You took a family of people who paid respect to, let's just say, a kid who wanted to be as
other Barry Windham. He has his name.
And you threw it all away. Because it doesn't matter. And say what you want about Vince and how his booking was trash. But there are moments in time when you can look back and he did the right thing by people because they were loyal to him. case in point, Mark Calloway's career is what it is. He was taken care of so thoroughly because of his loyalty to Vince McMahon.
He was 53 years old. He signed a 20-year contract. Okay? Ironclad. Cannot be broken. Because don't you think that contract be broken by now?
Oh, yeah.
It cannot be broken. 20 years. He basically has the Bobby Bonilla contract of WWE. Okay? He'll be 73 years old when he's out of that contract. Pays him $1 million a year. Is that worth it? Abso-freaking-lutely. It's, to me, for what he did for the company, it's underpaying. Okay? But it gives him security. He don't really need to work again. He don't need to be out there doing these comedy shows, whatever he does. He doesn't need to be doing it. He gets that check. That's his, he's getting paid for that check.
So the last question I need to ask you, Gerard, because here we are. We have 9 minutes left in the show, and I think it's barely enough time to really even cover this. Are we done? Are we done with what WWE was, or are we sniffing fumes now on what it was on the company that we loved growing up? And is it time to finally cash our chips in and go and find something else better or something different? Because clearly this is not the WWE you loved, the WWF you loved, and it's not the WWF I grew up with. It is a fucking soul-stealing, no pun intended for Soruka, but it is a soul-crushing, soul-stealing fucking money machine that cares nothing about you, nothing about me, and nothing about its overall fan base, in my opinion.
And as we learned, it doesn't care nothing about its employees either.
They're not employees, though, Gerard.
Yeah, exactly. They're independent contractors. And, you know, why is it in the wrestling world, unlike all the other ones, in the middle of your contract, they can just say, hey, we're cutting you. And there's no repercussions.
But then again, that's why I asked the question, Gerard. I'm asking you, is it time that we move on and start covering somebody else? And instead of making that company that just because it's so prominent and prolific that we stick on that? Or is it time that we give another company a chance?
Some nights I watch and I say, I could have more fun sorting socks.
Shout out to my Gooners.
And my problem with that is this. 3 years ago when Vince left that company, we had the Triple H hangover. That hangover is gone. Do we need to drink some more? Do they need to go back to drinking the fan Kool-Aid again? Or did the liquor store run out of liquor? I'm guessing it's the liquor store ran out of liquor.
So again, and I know you're dancing around this because we every time we come to this particular conversation.
Let me finish. They need to change the drink. And if they don't change it pretty quickly, people will go to another store to buy.
Will you?
I'll stop watching. I tried watching the other product and stuff like that, and just maybe it's the announcers to me that just overemphasize everything to the max to where what they're overemphasizing, I'm not seeing with my eyes. I need to see something with my eyes when you're emphasizing it, and the other companies don't. I can't see it with my eyes, the other companies. And the sad part about it is the announcers for WWE, the performers for WWE, I don't think anybody can say they are not out there busting their ass.
Oh, no, I agree with that. But what I'm saying
when
is,
you have corporate running against you, you know it. You work for a living. I know it. I work for a living. No matter what sometimes your boss says, if people above him in corporate tell him a job, tell him an order, it doesn't matter how good you're doing your job. We can go back to the Dusty Rhodes. Congratulations. You worked here 30 years. A computer just took your job.
which again, that's something we didn't talk about either. What is your opinion on the fact that apparently Paul Levesque and the writers are all taking cues from AI to write their storylines?
You know what I say about AI? What is it?
Artificial intelligence.
For years, that's all professional wrestling has run on. Artificial intelligence. Because why? All the greatest storylines were never told by the most mastermindful of people who work in the ring. The boys do not make great bookers.
Hey, Kevin Nash.
Okay? And can we not talk about him? Hey, Trips, did you make enough in catering today so that way there we could feed him?
So, you know what? We got about 4 minutes. I want you to tell the story. You're not on. Turn your mic on.
There will always be food here.
He's
such a whiny bitch now. What happened to him?
Hey, listen. Remember the movie, The Longest Yard, where he was a corrections officer? They gave him
estrogen.
I think he's still on the estrogen.
That would explain a lot.
So Gerard was telling me a story about how he only met Kevin Nash one time, and how Kevin Nash had guys go over there and buy his food for him or something. Tell the story.
He'd be in the building and say, "Hey, can I get any food?" And whoever went to him and said, "Yeah, you got no money for the food?" He goes, "I don't need to pay money for food. Go get me food." It'd be like, "Wait a minute, who the hell are you?"
Big sexy.
But you're not. And put it this way, he thought he was Hulk Hogan. He wasn't Hogan. And the only time I ever saw, and because if you went out and got food for Hogan, if you went to the agent and say, "Hey, I had to go get food for Hogan," here you go, here's the money back. But they wouldn't tell you to get money from Hogan because they knew who was paying the bills in that building.
Yeah.
And at this time that I'm talking about, Kevin Nash wasn't paying the bills in the building. He wasn't. He wasn't the top dog. This is when he was somebody's still bodyguard, something like that. This is just before the days. He was just about to leave. But he had such an ego, and I think he thought he was still Vinny Vegas. But he just come across as the kind of guy who thought the business owed him everything. He wasn't Kevin Nash yet. He was Big Sexy. And when he was Big Sexy the first time, the business owed him nothing. It wasn't until he turned into Kevin Nash and Scott Hall that he could have thrown his weight around like that, and he was doing it before that. He wasn't there.
You just said something, and maybe it's because I'm crazy. We got a minute left. The business doesn't owe him anything. The business doesn't owe us anything. But TKO and the money machine behind TKO, the fucking corporate stooges behind all that, definitely owe this business.
Put it this way. What you're seeing in the ring is not indicative of what's going on behind the scenes. The boys, the guys and girls in the ring are doing their damnedest and their best to keep us entertained. But it's not helping them when the corporate machine is holding them back.
And so I ask you one last time with 10 seconds left. When is it going to be enough? And when are you going to give another program an opportunity?
Triple H needs to walk out that door.
All of you Marks have been listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.